Hey guys, Marsengan here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so along with the Int Gotenks EZA, we also got the LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku EZA finally on Global. This dropped slightly earlier on JP in terms of the proceedings of the celebration, right? We got the Tech Tapion EZA well over a week ago now, and on JP, this EZA came out exactly 1 week later. Which I think was like the Monday, right? So for us, for some reason, a few days later in the schedule, very strange that they chose to do that, especially considering that the World Tournament started today at the same time this came out. So you would have thought it would have made a lot more sense to bring this out earlier, but here it is. So he's on Global as of today. Obviously, mine was already link leveled. We have him fully EZA'd SA25. So after his EZA, his super attacks, the 12 key super greatly raises attack, which is an infinite stack, raises defense for 1 turn and causes colossal damage with a high chance of stunning the enemy. And then we have the Dragon Fist on the 18 key, massively raise attack and raise defense for 1 turn, mega colossal damage to the enemy and massively lowers defense. And then when we take a look at our passive, attack 59% and defense 200%, he gets an additional attack and defense 120% when performing a super. He has 50% damage reduction before he performs an ultra super. So if you only get the 12 key super, he keeps that damage reduction, right? He disables the attacked enemy's action once within the turn, once only, and gets an additional 200% attack when performing an ultra super. So the first time you do the 18 key super, you get an action break, as well as obviously you get the additional 200% attack when doing it regardless. He gets key 2 up to 6 plus an additional 20% attack up to 59% with each super attack performed. So if you perform 3 supers, you get your full buff. You get a crit once only, 7 key and 59% attack within the same turn when HP is 59% or less and facing only 1 enemy starting from the 6th turn. So a little bit later on into the fight you can get a buff if you are below the HP threshold. So basically the way that we want to use this guy is we want to get 12 key supers with him essentially 3 times, and that fully builds up his passive. And then when we drop that first big Dragon Fist, we can do some huge damage and obviously get the guaranteed crit and get the action break on the first turn. So the guaranteed crit is the when you're below the HP threshold, but we get the action break for the first Dragon Fist. So you can see here, start of turn, 230k defense, nothing crazy, right, for his start of turn. He is getting 150%, sorry, 120% when performing a super. So immediately he's jumping up to like 500k when he supers, not to mention the actual super attack effect as well. And as we've already said, if you're doing the 12 key super and not the 18, you're not losing that damage reduction. So obviously here in the early turn, he's going to take double digits. Only a 4.2 million attack. Now, he's got a 200% leader skill here with the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. His 200% leads are kind of awkward because they're characters like Super Saiyan 4, like LR Full Power Goku, or the AGL Kai Goku, like the Turtle School leader. And the problem with those kind of teams is if you're running double leads of them, those are units that don't link particularly well with this Goku. But of course the problem then with running him on the team with the Super Saiyan 3 Dragon Fist Goku is they have the same name. I think that's probably one of the biggest fumbles and one of the things people were probably the most disappointed about with this Super Saiyan 3 and Harudegan celebration, and then the inclusion of the LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku EZA, was obviously they didn't give him a different name. They could have made him like a unit that transforms immediately on turn 1 or something to enable these other Super Saiyan 3 Gokus to link with him. And the fact that he doesn't is a bit of a shame. So I think we want to get, I probably want you to be the slot 1 support more so than the Piccolo. So let's get you floated off. And then, yeah, we can have you on the other rotation, because at least you're going to share some links with the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Because the problem is, like, on that last turn, we could put Super Saiyan 3 Goku in slot 1, and then at least the other Super Saiyan 3 Goku could get a link or 2 active with the STR Piccolo. But running him on this team with the double Super Saiyan 3 Goku leads is going to consistently create the issue where you can't do that, right? So at least in this slot, we're now going to have experienced fighters, Kamehameha, over in a flash, and legendary power. So we've still got the same start of turn defense as what we would expect. Can't get a super for Piccolo in slot 1, okay. Now, the good thing is he will be good against AoEs. I say good. He will be okay against AoEs because he has that 50% damage reduction before doing an 18 key super. So if we do get AoE'd in slot 1 here, we shouldn't take too much damage. Of course, Gogeta, he does have type advantage, but he's not attacked in slot 3, so he's not going to have his extra dodge or anything like that. But he should be alright just because of the type advantage. And he's not going to super first here anyway. So 6.8, you can see a pretty significant jump up with the second super. Still no additional though, sadly. The real thing you want for this guy, especially in shorter events, is to get that 12 key super and then get an additional super either on the first or second turn, because then you are fully built up. And, you know, you can then sort of in shorter events, then you could be ready to pull the trigger on the Dragon Fist. Because you do kind of want to wait, I guess, and use the 18 key super in the most optimal scenario. Because we're doing an easier event here, right? This is one of the events that will be a little bit quicker, well, a little bit longer, so we get more chances to see Goku build up and everything like that. But it's something where, let's put, yeah, we'll keep my one in slot 1, I think. Obviously, it's an event where, whilst it can be a little bit longer, the enemy is not going to be doing insane amounts of damage. I mean, full power freezer at the end can hit quite hard, but the thing that you have to consider with the most difficult events in the game and the stuff that's going to be coming out for the anniversary is when you go for that 18 key super with LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you're then losing that damage reduction, which means that if he then is taking a bunch of hits, he's potentially going to take a lot of damage, depending on what sort of defense he gets up to, especially if he doesn't get an additional super, because an additional super, of course, gives him that extra bit of defense. So this will be a good turn for him. I want to try and make sure I can actually get... Is there a way I can get 1 key? Actually, yeah, you'll grab... This will grab, like, all the rainbow orbs, won't it? And it's also 6 orbs for you, so that's good. Oh, there you go. Just about managed it there. So we can get our last super to get his passive built up. We got 229. So the defense has been the same throughout. And then, yeah, I guess we can just grab these for you here. So this will be his final 12 key super in terms of the build up. So essentially any 12 key super after this will be the number that we're seeing. If he gets an additional, well, to be fair, actually, he is raising attack, isn't he, with his 12 key super. So that's the other reason why you want to keep doing these 12 key supers, is you're not just building up his passive, because you want to get the minimum, right, the 3 that gets his full build up, but each 12 key super is raising his attack permanently as well. So if you can go through one of these events like this and keep building him up, and never pull the trigger on the 18 key super until like the final turn, then you're going to do a ton of damage, right? So we got 8 million, we're not losing our damage reduction. So what do we take from this? Type disadvantage, yeah, double digits. I mean, obviously this Frieza, not the hardest hitting boss or anything, but type disadvantage super, and we take double digit damage, so that is good. And then, yeah, now if we want to, from the next turn onwards, we have the ability to use that Dragon Fist. So I think what we want to do here is probably... I think we probably just want to keep floating off the... Well, I was going to say, do I want to float off the Goku? I kind of want the Tapion to be on rotation for the support. So I think we'll do this. We've got a lot of rainbow orbs here for Tapion, so we can do that. I want to get a good turn with Tapion on the rotation with him for that little bit of extra support. Gogeta can do some big damage here in slot 1, and then if he doesn't kill him, he's got the 100% chance to dodge, and then STR Super Saiyan 3 Goku will kill him. Now, the turn that can certainly be very interesting, especially with the Scouter ability coming into play once you've used the standby, is when we get the Super Saiyan 3 Goku LR with the STR one on the same rotation, but you can use the standby for the STR Goku, because then, even though they still technically do have the same name, because he's in his standby and it's a transformation, they will be able to link. So on this turn, as an example, we will be able to link them if we put him into his standby, which, I mean, I guess we might as well do. So go ahead and do this. And we'll see where the super is. Because obviously, if we're thinking about this in terms of, if this was actually one of the more significantly difficult events, then the super's in slot 1. So then we can do this. Now, obviously, as you can see on this turn, we can't avoid getting the 18 key super. So I imagine what we probably want to do here is we might as well just go all in and get as much key as possible. So we'll do this. Since we have to get the 18 key super anyway, we might as well get 24 key. So we've got Super Saiyan Kamehameha over in a flash and limit breaking form. So we've got 250k defense. Now remember, we're going to get 120% sorry, on super. But then we are going to get our massive attack buff and the guaranteed action break. And then the 18 key super is also raising our defense by 30% for 1 turn as well. So we are going up to what, somewhere between like 600 and 700k defense. We won't have the damage reduction after we've attacked. But of course, for this particular boss, we've got type advantage in this phase. I think even if we were to take a super, it wouldn't matter. But because of the scouter ability from the Dragon Fist Goku, we know that we don't have to take a super. So whilst it is kind of awkward with the fact that they can't link, this is kind of a good team setup for this Goku, because when we get to this turn where we can actually use the standby for the STR Dragon Fist, not only can they link, but then we can make sure we're not putting the tech Goku where a super attack is, and then him losing his damage reduction isn't going to be as impactful. So yeah, 23 million on the Dragon Fist here. So 19.3 on the damage. And of course, the first time you use it, it's an action break. So if we're in one of the new difficult events from the anniversary, and we can basically set it up so that we get our standby with Dragon Fist Goku, we know where the super attack is, and then we can put Super Saiyan LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku in a slot where there's only 1 attack, then he action breaks that attack because we're doing the 18 key super for the first time. So I should have turned the animation off. I went to check it before the first time, and then I thought, nah, if it's on, we'll just watch it. If it's off, it's off. And of course it was on. I should have turned it off for this one. Full power Frieza, he's going to super on the first turn, right? Surely. Yeah, as the first attack in slot 1. So let's do this. And then I guess we can just do that. Do that. And then do that. So this will be a good turn. We get the Dragon Fist off here. Counter the super automatically. And of course, when Goku counters the super with the Dragon Fist, every other attack of the turn is automatically dodged. So we should be all good here. And then Gogeta's going to do a decent bit of damage in slot 2. Hopefully we don't actually kill him, because yeah, fortunately the Dragon Fist is the only attack that Goku can do for the turn. But I mean, Gogeta has the potential to pop off a little bit in slot 2 here. Yeah, 14 mil. Frieza might not actually survive this, but we got to see the one big Dragon Fist. I think the downside to the LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku is that he kind of feels like a character that if you are going to use him in the hardest events, you are basically just like building him up for a bunch of turns. Then you get one big like Dragon Fist super out of him, and then after that, you kind of, you know, that's like, for example, in this run, now I know this was an easier event, but it's longer than potentially some other runs would be, depending on the event and the number of turns. That one big 18 key super is all he actually did, apart from doing, like, you know, we got the 12 key supers, we got the build up, he tanked everything that he had to take up until that point, right, for double digit damage. Then we got the one big Dragon Fist, and then the event was over. So it's interesting to think about with the teams that he's on, like where you're going to use him and how much use you're going to get out of him, right? Because when it comes to the anniversary events, like, you know, Golden Frieza as the final stage of Movie Bosses Red Zone 2, he's AGL for the main part of the last phase, so Goku could still be very good there. But when you start thinking about like Beast Gohan and the Blue Gogeta, that has that crazy hard-hitting STR phase as well as doing AoEs, like this guy, once you get a certain way into the event, especially with depending on what link partners or support he has, it kind of becomes impossible to not get his 18 key super, which means he then will definitely be losing that damage reduction. And then against some of these harder hitting bosses, unless you can put him in a slot where he either doesn't need to get hit or he's only getting attacked once, he has the potential to take quite a lot of damage. So additionals are good to get his build up early on. But I could honestly see him being a character that you could probably argue like a full dodge build, because, you know, critting on the big Dragon Fist is going to be good, but he's going to drop a big attack stat regardless. Mine has 21 additional, 14 crit, and then 4 dodge. If I was to get extra copies of him in the future, I could quite easily see myself changing a bunch of his crit into dodge. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Have you tried out Goku? I still think this card's cool. This was the first summonable LR I ever rainbowed, so obviously he has a special place in my heart. But yeah, his EZA, especially now, like for global, for the current meta, he's certainly not like terrible. But when the anniversary content starts dropping, it'll be interesting to see just how relevant he can be for some of those stages. But we definitely will try him out. We'll be trying out a bunch of different teams and units and builds once all the anniversary content comes out. So stay tuned for that, of course. But let me know what you guys think of LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku and his EZA down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.